In February, I spent a few weeks in Taiwan, and in this video, I'm going to share with you some of my favorite things that we did in the country and things that I think you definitely shouldn't miss if you are planning your own trip to Taiwan. So firstly, go on a hike. I was blown away by how amazing the scenery and hikes were in Taiwan, and this is one of my favorite activities to do whilst traveling because not only is it free, but it is such a fantastic way to stay fit and active while on the road. The most famous hike to do in Taipei is Elephant Mountain. You can take the metro to Changshan, and it only takes about half an hour to get to the top, where you have the most magnificent views over Taipei 101 and the whole city. It is a lot of stairs though, so be prepared for that. If you're after something shorter and much lighter, you can hike the Beiguan Tidal Park Trail. It's a beautiful flat coastal route that shouldn't take you more than an hour. Another favorite of mine was the Alishan Forest Park Loop. This is a moderate 5k loop that is just so stunning through the forest and entirely along this wooden boardwalk. And finally, I absolutely loved hiking in the Shushan National Park in Kaohsiung. The amount of monkeys throughout this whole park is wild. I just think that that's so cool, and you get great elevation and views over the city. But there are incredible hiking trails all over Taiwan. I found all of mine and navigated them on all trails, so I'd recommend having that downloaded before you go. Now, Taiwan is located along the Pacific Ring of Fire, where the Philippine Sea Plate and the Eurasian Plate meet. This tectonic activity causes volcanic and geothermal activity, leading to the formation of hot springs throughout the island. In fact, Taiwan has one of the highest densities of hot springs in the world, with around 150 different hot spring locations across the island. So of course, this is a great thing to do, or you can level up this experience by staying in a hot spring hotel, where you get your own private hot tub in your room or on your balcony. My personal favorites for this were Wellspring by Silks in Shaoqi. The kimono bathrooms were so cute, and they had complimentary face masks waiting for you in the fridge, which you could obviously do whilst in the bathtub. What a luxury. And also Episode Dan Hotel in Taipei. I was absolutely obsessed with this hotel. The bed was so huge, there was an espresso pod machine in the room, and they have a happy hour every evening where the drinks are literally free. It's an open bar happy hour, need I say more? Also, the nice hotels in Taiwan all have the most glorious toilets. They are heated and they have buttons not only to clean your bottom, but also a female button to clean your vagina for the girlies. I now want to get one of these installed at my home in London because I just feel like nothing will ever be as good as this now. When in Taiwan, you've got to dive into the local food scene. Trust me, it's an absolute must. And one of the best ways to experience authentic Taiwanese food is at the night markets. If you're in the north, definitely check out Luodong Night Market in Yilan. It's full of all sorts of delicious street food like oyster omelets, stinky tofu, and apparently the world's longest French fries. And of course, bubble tea. Yes, Taiwan is the birthplace of bubble tea, so you know it's going to be next level here. For a more refined experience, I highly recommend Frasi Fine Dining in Taipei. The restaurant blends traditional Taiwanese ingredients with modern techniques and presentation. It's a bit pricier, but it's the perfect spot for a fancy dinner after exploring the city. And if you're into duck, I mean, who isn't? Make sure to try the famous Taiwanese style roast duck. The flavor is out of this world. Crispy skin, tender meat, and savory sauce. You can find it at many restaurants, but we went to Silk's Place Yilan, and my mouth is watering just thinking about it, especially the duck sushi rolls. Oh my god. Now let's talk about some experiences that are totally unique to Taiwan, things you won't find anywhere else. So first up, tea picking. Taiwan's tea culture is legendary, and there are several tea plantations where you can get hands-on and try your hand at picking leaves. It's an incredibly peaceful and scenic activity, plus you get to sip on fresh tea right after and see how the concentration of the tea affects the taste. And you may know Taiwan is famous for its lanterns, and I'm not talking about any old lantern here. I mean those beautiful sky lanterns that float into the night sky. There are several lantern festivals that you can attend, and in places like Shifen, you can write your wishes or dreams on the lantern and release it. This is symbolic of wishing for good fortune and blessings, letting go of worries and burdens, as well as it just being a community event where people come together to share in the experience of releasing lanterns. And I think that is quite magical, honestly. Now, if you're like me and you love a good crafty activity, Taiwan has got you covered. I highly recommend signing up for a cooking class. Taiwanese cuisine is rich in flavors and history, and it's such a fun experience to learn how to make things like dumplings or beef noodle soup. We learned how to make chow long bao in Cook Inn in Taipei, which was so much fun. We also learned how to make our own boba tea. Plus, at the end of the class, you get to sit down and enjoy the delicious food and drink you've just created. So it's really a win-win. Another crafty experience is pottery painting. Taiwan has some incredible pottery villages villages, you can get creative and paint your own piece, which makes for a perfect souvenir to bring home. And if you're really into learning traditional crafts, there is the National Centre for Traditional Arts in Yilan County, where you not only can buy the cutest little gifts, you can also try your hand at soap making. It's a hands-on way to experience the culture, and I love that we could completely customize the scent of our soaps based on what we liked the smell of. The techniques used are really interesting as well. I'm a predominantly kinesthetic learner, so doing these kind of activities is by far my favorite way to really feel like I'm getting to know a country. And of course, there are a few typical tourist activities which are just classics to hit up. Firstly, check out the iRide in Taipei. It's a virtual reality experience that takes you on a tour of the city from above, giving you a bird's eye view of the landmarks and natural beauty. And it's so fun. It's literally like a roller coaster and a unique way to explore the whole country. In fact, this gave us some great inspiration for planning our road trip around Taiwan. And finally, you've got to check out Taipei 101. Yes, it's touristy, but it's iconic for a reason. You can go up to the observation deck for some of the best views of the city, and you'll probably get much better weather than we did when we were up there. Taipei 101 was once the tallest building in the whole world, and it's the perfect way to take in the city, grab some souvenirs, and feel like you can officially say, Taiwan completed it, mate. And that is it. Those were my top picks of must-do experiences in Taiwan that I think you definitely shouldn't miss. I flew to Taiwan with Eva Air, who were fantastic. They have direct overnight flights from London Heathrow, and you can get 10% off their airfares when you book direct and use the code EVATW. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and there is more content to come from me in Taiwan, so I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!